So today we're back in the place that's brought us a lot of really good things in the past, and that is Vurhonga multiplayer. And there's just something about this map, especially in multiplayer, when I just don't know what's over the next hill or around the next corner. I never get bored of it, and I really just enjoy running around and trying to look for trophies. So got a decent amount of time today. We're gonna run around probably a couple of different servers and see if we can find anything for the trophy lodge. We're kind of at the beginning of Springbuck drink time in this server, and I think that's actually a good one to kind of stay in because we definitely have room on the small plaques still, and I think any more diamond or rare Springbuck would be cool, but I decided to switch up the weapons today, and I have the 223, which I think, from what we learned with the muskier, actually hits a lot more like the 243. So that was 260 meters. We pretty much just zeroed for 300 and aimed dead on, and I think we did get it in a lung. It's just going to be pretty weak for them, and I didn't consider Springbuck as a part of this when I chose the 223. I was only thinking of the Jackal. So we'll try to get hard shots where we can just to avoid tracking. But I thought just to switch it up, we'd go with the 470 for bigger game, which could be a lot of fun. We did that on stream recently. And I just have the 30-06 because I figured if I was going to bring the 470, I'd just kind of go with maybe the most popular caliber to hunt Africa with. And at least just from looking it up, because I don't really know, the 30-06 is a very popular caliber, so I figured we'd give that a shot. I know these are the horns that can make gold for Springbuck, but I forget actually what the number is. He's a gold at 95, gold is 93, so barely, but not a bad way to start this. And we got plenty of time to continue hunting them, so I think we might actually go and visit this lake. We rarely do it, but it is a good Springbuck area, and actually, we might have the time to just go all the way up through. It would be good to see if we can catch stuff in their feed zones up through here, so I think that'll be the plan. Maybe it was just not the best luck with this map, but apparently that run is a little better in the morning because I've definitely had a lot of good things doing that, like between, say, 10 and 12. But doing it in the afternoon like this basically produced a couple of female warthog, and that was about it, so I'm hoping we got a lung on that guy. It's really hard to say using the 223 at range, but it was about 230 meters, and he was a 91 minimum, so potentially another gold Springbuck. It's just going to come down to whether or not that shot actually got him in the lung. I'm kind of surprised that we're only getting a low bleed rate with the 223, because it's a class 2 weapon, and Springbuck are only class 3, but that was barely another gold Springbuck, right along there at 219 meters. I think shooting through the legs probably not such a good idea. That probably cost us a bit of penetration. And I don't even know if heart shots are a thing. We might be tracking Springbuck no matter what this video, but at least we got another gold out of that entire run. So I went ahead and joined another server, and this is pretty much the exact result I was hoping to get here. It's pretty much the end of Cape Buffalo drink time, and I wanted to go ahead and get one with the 470. Helps when you actually make a lung shot. I think the first one would have been too far back, but since they're going to be leaving, and since you have to at least put a decent amount of effort into getting close enough with the 470 to get them, an aggressive one was ideal. We actually did somehow get the very back and bottom of the lung on the first shot, but just a decent little brown one. Haven't shot a Cape Buffalo with the 470 in a while, but this might give us the opportunity to hunt lions a bit with it. There's also a mythical out there. We might try. I mean, it's a huge target, so there's plenty of room for error, so we might try to get him with the 470 real quick. But it could be fun to go after lions a bit and try to call them in. Okay, so that's got him alert. I really would prefer broadside. It's just, clearly, when you aim at something that far away, it's difficult to see. We hit him. It may have been back a bit because I think he took a step, but we just saw just how far back their lungs extend. So, hard to say. Can't spot them to know whether or not we did get along, but I think at worst, it'll be intestines and bring them down. I don't understand what's going on here, so I don't think that's even the angle of the shot we had. It says it was right lung and stomach, but animal shot more than 2 times, so I guess somebody shot this with like a 22 earlier or something. We had this in a recent multiplayer video on Layton, and I've never really had that issue before, so I don't know. It could be that, or it could be just some kind of weird bug. But I guess we made a good enough shot. That makes sense, lung and stomach. Not really sure what to make of that, but a little unfortunate we didn't get a gold. So we tracked this guy pretty far, and he actually is just a level 4, but it was good to see a max track, and actually, first chance to use the 30-06, and that might very well be the first time I fired it since the new update, because that did not sound like anything I remember. I also noticed there's a pretty good sized female Gemsbuck out here. The estimate's solid, and we actually are stuck using the 30-06 for that as well, so that could mean a lot of tracking here if we don't make a good shot. But I think that one's got a chance. I haven't seen a lot of 4s since the score estimate changed to where they actually reach the diamond requirements, so I think there could be something to that. There's actually, now that I'm looking at it, 2 that are pretty solid. I want to make sure. That's just 4 up to 318, so we'll try to get lined up on this one. Well, I was already a little bit apprehensive about trying to take that shot, because shooting through the shoulder with a lower caliber weapon on an animal as tanky as a Gemsbuck's probably not the best idea, but once she laid down, there was just no way I was risking a shot like that, so if she'll just sort of stand broadside or even just walk broadside for a minute, we'll try to get that shot in there. But she should try to come in. I just don't want to deal with like a bunch of the others getting in front of her. I also think it's probably best to get the shot in there now, because some of this stuff would not be fun. We'd have to wait till she gets pretty close. And there's Cape Buffalo running around here and stuff. I just don't know what's going to happen. So we did definitely make a spinal cord shot. The wildebeest and Gemsbuck, to my knowledge, are still kind of broken with that, so we probably did hit her in the lungs and spinal cord. We kept the shot kind of high, but I think it was still in the area of 200 meters, so I think we're good. I honestly don't know if spinal cord leaves vital blood. That is very close, a gold at 333, so about 4.5 below diamond. Definitely not a bad Gemsbuck, and we did actually double lung, spinal cord, and vertebrae hit it, I guess, so not too bad. And then our kudu actually wasn't that far away from them, so it definitely wasn't quite what I was hoping for when we got the max weight kudu track, but 2 very solid golds. I would definitely like to get more kudu added at the lodge. They're another species that does fit on those small plaques, and it would be good to take up a few slots instead of just like having ducks and geese there. So maybe we can run into more of those in the future, but that one's not quite what we're after. So kind of figures, we finally find a male lion, and the wind is just not good for this. So we got him into about 120, and he's alert, so I'm hoping we can maybe get a broadside shot in there. I don't know what his state just changed to there. Right as we shot, he went to either alarmed or maybe fleeing, so it's a good thing we got the shot off. I guess he's just gonna do that until he goes down. But several different lakes had all female lions, and there weren't any rares that were actually after for the trophy lodge. Figures there was a better one hiding down in there. The odds that we even hit that cannot be good, but just with the limited range we have, every meter further away we let him get is just... I think we got that. It's just lowering and lowering our chance of actually making the shot. I think we got a lung there. I wouldn't have been that confident taking a standing still shot through that brush and stuff. So go figure. But we got our 5 here. And maybe, even though we didn't really get to properly call them in, because we are at the end of lion drink time now, we might have still managed to get a gold lion with the 470. It seems like we have. So where did we hit this guy? Because we aimed kind of far forward, and it was just right at the front of the lungs there, where they kind of meet at the front and got even a double lung shot. I feel like there's a lot of luck involved with that, but not too bad. Pretty happy with that one. Ooh. It is just a female, but that was actually one of the things that we mentioned on stream recently, and one of the reasons I wanted to come back to Vurhonga was specifically albino springbuck. Now, it's not really something that we're going to end up keeping in our lodge, but I'm hoping that'll stop and give us a shot. I mean, the fact that we have the 223, I trust myself even less to make a moving shot. Some of them are stopping. I'm hoping she's going to just stop broadside somewhere there where we can see her. And and I'm not sure if she's going to. Actually, she is just coming back right over there. So it's going to be kind of similar to the other shots we've taken, where we want to 0 for 300. We might need to use the 22 to slow her down, depending on what happens. But I'm glad we kind of waited around, because I had a max weight Cape Buffalo track, and I just basically wanted to check and see what that was before we just immediately started tracking that. And it is just a mythical. So, whenever she gets through all that, there she is. Hopefully she'll slow to a walk. A lot of them are. I imagine she will, unfortunately. Behind another one is less than ideal. Alright, we might have a shot here. Of course, she's not going to slow down for long. I don't want to let her get much further. I think that might have been our chance, and I'm actually not sure if we got along. It might be the first time we didn't, but she's dropping. So I think we might have lucked out. Not sure. We're getting charged by one of the females, so not the mythical, but not too worried about getting that guy. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to be a random diamond, so we'll get this taken care of. And after about 2 hours, we got ourselves a pretty cool rare. Well, guess we have one more Cape Buffalo to take care of first. And now we can go and get our rare. So I mentioned it briefly there. We had talked about this on stream, and I think in all the other trophy lodges we've had, there's been an albino springbuck in it, and this is a silver female, so not too bad. I think we'll taxidermize it and at the very least put it in our second lodge. But we've been quite lucky and been able to get gold albino springbucks several times in the past, and it's just because this is something we did all the time, just running around Vurhonga multiplayer, and once again it's paying off here in a small way. But I think this is something that maybe once we get through the last of the grinding that we've been on, so like musk deer, fallow deer, I guess rare lions could kind of be a part of multiplayer, and then maybe trying to get the red fox as well. We might spend a little more time here, because there's some really cool rares that we don't have in that newest lodge, and it would be nice to get something like that. Ooh. 5 medium female gemsbuck, okay. I didn't even realize it was that big. Those are always huge, and of course it was, I guess I don't know if it was a common or a gray. I'm gonna say the one we have is a gray, so of course it wasn't anything too different than the one that we have. But this has been a spot that lately I've kind of been trying to check more and more ever since that video we did on Vurhonga, I don't know what it was, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we hunted gemsbuck drink time, and around this lake there must have been 60 or 70 of them. It just seems like something has changed and more use this general area. So, I've started checking it during their feed times and stuff as well. And that is massive, 350 minimum. We'll go ahead and try to take that out with the 30-06. I think we got the heart shot and all in there. And I wonder if there is much else going on here, because there were several level 4s that actually had a chance, and I was just kind of looking around, and that one showed up. There's a dark around here somewhere. I don't know where she got to. It went up to 339, and we have a bigger one already, so I guess maybe it's not worth trying to stick around, because it probably wouldn't make it, especially when we have a level 5 down. But that's the first time since not too long after the new scoring system came out that we've seen a 5 female, so pretty cool to come across. And actually, it's in the very same place as the first level 5 female I've ever seen, which was in the Lion beta, but it was right down here. And these have a really, really good chance at being max scores, so we'll see if we can get that lucky. And we can, 358 max weight and a gray once again. I think that is down to the letter exactly what our other one was. I think it's the same fur type, same weight, obviously same trophy rating. Pretty cool to hard shot that with the 30-06. And that is going to be a diamond we can send to the trophy lodge. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it, because there's not a lot of things that I really want to take down for that, but we'll have to see. There's no way I can just keep a max score out of there, so I think that was going to be maybe the last thing we do, was go and check this area, but just seeing the amount of good-sized gemsbuck over here, I think we might do that same run that we did earlier. There is someone up there. Maybe we'll just go a little further, see if there's any springbuck or wildebeest in the area, and then we'll head back to the trophy lodge. They're probably not good, but I wonder what the odds are, if we're actually loaded, that we can make a shot like we did earlier again. What is happening in this video? I think we just hard shot him. It's the only thing I can imagine. I didn't want to get in anybody's way for that direction we were going, so I just came down here kind of thinking we could find a wildebeest or something. And there was a decent lion, but that was the last thing I expected to happen. Might have been pretty useful as well that, I guess, at some point we didn't reload. Pretty sure there were a couple of female Cape Buffalo that charged at some point, and that was probably why. But it might have been the reason we made the shot we did. Let's just quickly see. That's just a 6, so not going to be worried about that guy. What did we do here? Heart, double lung, and liver at 130 meters on the trot. I've struggled so much with the 470. I've had plenty of shots where they're just standing broadside and completely missed. I don't know what has happened lately, but I'm happy about it. We might actually start using that gun a little more, but I think it's time we head back to the trophy lodge. We got at least a springbuck to take a look at and a gemsbuck to find a new home for. It's actually been a little while since we've come into the second lodge here, and there's a lot of stuff that we've gotten since the last time we were here that I've just not put up, so I gotta do that eventually. But I did put the albino springbuck here because I think that's really cool, especially considering one of the reasons we came to Vurhonga today was just the idea of getting an albino springbuck. So hopefully we can get a good sized male one eventually, but pretty cool to run into that. And then we're going to go to the main lodge for our gemsbuck. And speaking of the main lodge, something quite interesting happened, which made the decision of where to put the gemsbuck quite easy, but I'm not a huge fan of exactly what happened here. So once we load into this lodge, we can go into this side room here, and we can see now we have our max score gemsbuck just sitting right here beside a mountain goat and wildebeest, and I kind of like it. But I had another wildebeest, basically the same size, that's just gone. I have no idea where it went. I definitely think I'm going to back up my save file just in case things are getting a little bit messed up. But yeah, there was another one that I know was harvested on September 9th because I was able to go back and find the video of it. And if we go into our trophy manager, it actually just happens to be the top date. This is not the diamond wildebeest, it's too small. The one that we have is in the 39 area. It's just not here. So, not sure what happened to that, but it definitely made an opening for our max score gemsbuck and made that decision easy, so at least that part was nice. But yeah, pretty cool to actually get a diamond and a rare just run around on multiplayer for a little while today. And I like that, especially if we're just going to randomly lose some kind of trophy. Replacing it with a max score one is not a bad way to do it. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.